Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and we are here for another reaction to Carole on Tuesday, and this time we have episode 9. So yeah, we're really getting into this. This is just proving to be one of my new favorite shows, and as I keep saying, could very easily be in my top favorite anime and just shows in general of all time. But we have to see where it goes from here. So we're in the middle of this singing competition. And the first round has passed. We've had some pretty good performances. And in the end, the ones who went on into the next round are Carole on Tuesday and Piotr. Um, and I really can't wait to see what we have this time. So we have 4 more acts who will be competing, and it'll obviously cut down to 2. The one I'm most interested in, obviously, is Angelica versus, or Angela, rather, not Angelica, Angela versus the creepy kind of like almost stalkerish like person who I still cannot tell if they're a boy or a girl or whatever else, non-binary maybe, because it hasn't said. It didn't say in that episode, in last week's episode, so I don't know. They're very androgynous in appearance. But I am excited to find out for sure exactly how good they are. Because everyone here has talent. Like, that much is obvious just because of the fact that they're here. They're the top 8 out of tens, hundreds of thousands of people. So yeah, I'm excited to see who else we've got, basically. I assume Angela's going to go through, and I assume Angela and Carole on Tuesday will end up being the final 2. And as I've said before, I could see Carole on Tuesday losing. And I don't think it would be a bad thing if they do it right, because I feel like, one, even if they lose, even if they get second place, Carole on Tuesday will get massive attention from this. And 2, I think it would actually help from the writing standpoint to have them lose this and to continue to show that they need to keep working. They need to keep doing their best and getting better and better, because they're not perfect yet. Yes, they sound amazing, and yes, they're just fantastic in terms of their quality, but they still got room to improve. Everyone always does. So I think it could help. Now, if they do win, as long as they do it right, it's fine. I'm just saying it could help if they do lose. So I could see it kind of going either way. But yeah, the past couple episodes have also touched on a lot of character stuff with them, specifically with Tuesday, and a lot of concerns and struggles she's had with just learning to be comfortable with all of this, especially with being on camera. That was one of her biggest fears for a bit there, because of the fact of her mother finding her, since she did run away, and the fact that her mother is, running for office. So yeah. I assume they're gonna bring that back at some point, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be quite yet, because I think they want to focus on the singing competition. But I guess we'll see. Though if they do bring that entire plot line back, it could work if they have it like try to have her force Tuesday to leave the competition or something, and Tuesday has to learn to stand up to her and whatnot. That could work if they do it right, and that's just kind of how a lot of this is going, if they do it right. um, and I have faith that they will. Shinichiro Watanabe, great director. He's doing a fantastic job on this. The rest of the staff are doing fantastic. The singing, everything is great. The art and animation, just the background soundtrack. And it's proving that it's going to keep doing well, but it could still drop in quality at some point. I've seen shows that have started off amazingly end up becoming kind of shitty before too long. It's very possible. It happens. Hell, Sword Art Online actually started off pretty promising. But then it started making all these mistakes. It started like just time skipping out of nowhere constantly, way too much. It started just doing some horrible things with its main lead, Kirito, just making him super, super stupidly overpowered, and just there was no tension in anything he did, and so on and so forth. It just made all these mistakes, but it did start off good. And the concept at first was actually fantastic, um, especially for the time that it initially came out. So it's like you can do bad things with good ideas, and you can start a show well, and then it could turn to crap. But I don't think that this one will. Even if we do have some episodes that are kind of a low point for this series, which is definitely possible. Even if we do, I don't think it'll ruin the series, and I think we will never get to like too much of a low to where it just, again, ruins the series. I don't think we'll ever get that bad. We might just get some episodes that just aren't as good, basically. They're not bad, they're just not as good as this series has shown us it can be. But I guess we'll have to find that out. But yeah, as I said, I'm excited to see the next stage of this competition, the next singers, and hopefully the music continues to be great. So yeah, for now, let's just get on with it. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so there's quite a few things I had to talk about. Before anything, I want to mention Angela's song, because I said it sounded really familiar, like I'd heard it before. I looked it up, and apparently not. Looking up the lyrics, the closest thing I found was Uma Thurman by Fall Out Boy, but that's definitely not it, for many reasons. But I swear I've heard that song before. I have no idea where. I have no idea, like, when. It's just, I swear I know that song. Like, lyrically. Not just the way it sounds, though that did help, of course, but definitely lyrically. I can't place it. I couldn't find anything, so I have no clue. But there's a few things to talk about, so let's start with Sibel. So we got confirmation on Sibel's gender. Sibel is a girl. And we also got confirmation that I fucking hate her. See, last episode when Sibel was introduced and all, I didn't have like huge, strong opinions on her one way or the other. I thought she was kind of like this weird, kind of stalkerish character who just had this kind of obsession, this unhealthy obsession with Tuesday. And it's like you've seen these kinds of people in real life, especially going to conventions. I go to conventions multiple times a year, and it's like, especially where you have big name guests involved, you'll see these kinds of people. The people who are a little too obsessed, a little too excited to meet the guests, and try to get a little too close during the autographs and pictures and all of that jazz. You see these kinds of people. So that's kind of what I thought Sibel was. Not like this bad person or anything, just someone who was a little too over-enthusiastic about meeting someone that she kind of had this little mild crush on. This episode kind of shows that it's a lot more than that, with the entire bite. So it's bad enough that she bit Tuesday on the neck unconsensually. That alone could be considered sexual assault, because that the action of biting someone's neck is often seen as a sexual act. I mean, outside of, like, you know, vampire stuff. In terms of like real human interaction, it's seen as a act of sexuality or just an act that someone would commit to a like deeply involved loved one. And the thing is, it's clear that this proves Sibel views her and Tuesday like that, which is not a good thing. She sees their relationship, even though they just met, she sees them as being connected, as being a legitimate relationship. She doesn't even seem to understand that, yeah, they just met. She's acting like they've been girlfriends for years, basically. It's not even only that, but her words afterwards, after Tuesday finally spoke out against her, I marked you as my own. That pisses me off because that implies that by biting her like that, she claimed her. She had this kind of idea that because she did that, Tuesday belonged to her. That's not just unhealthy, that's dangerous. That is a dangerous mindset to have. It's basically the mindset of a relationship where one of the people in the relationship, one of the people in the couple, has this owner-like mentality towards the other. Like, you'll see this a lot when uh like there's memes and stuff online that's like I am not your woman, stuff like that. Because a lot of guys, like especially the macho sexist guys, will often like call their girlfriends my woman and stuff like that. And it kind of denotes ownership, as if the woman is property to be owned by a man. And you can see this in same-sex relationships as well and stuff. And it's kind of shown here. Sibel, by biting Tuesday's neck, marked her. And she saw it as that means that Tuesday belongs to me. She saw Tuesday not in a legitimately loving way, but as someone that she was so obsessed with, she viewed her as something that she would make her property. And to view another person as property is evil. Not just morally wrong, fucking evil. And detestable, and it fucking pisses me off. And it doesn't matter who it's between. Doesn't matter if it's a guy seeing a girl that way, another girl seeing a girl, a guy seeing a guy, a white person seeing a black person, etc. To dehumanize someone to such a degree that you see them as your property is evil. And I hope we don't see Sibel again. I really don't want to, I really just don't want to see her again. But I'm also afraid that because of this rejection from Tuesday, she's now going to become some kind of antagonist for future episodes. And I'm not saying, by the way, that that would be a bad thing in terms of the story and all. I just don't want to see her again because I don't want to get that angry again. I hate getting angry, and I hate subjecting myself to stuff that'll make me angry. And this kind of shit fucking pisses me off. It's the same kind of mentality as when guys see women as sexual objects instead of real people. It's the same reasons why Mineta from My Hero Academia infuriates me so much. I hate it. I hate people who view others as lower, as property, as something that they own or they are entitled to. And again, that's nothing against the show. I'm not complaining about Carole and Tuesday as a show. I'm not even complaining about Sibel's character. Like, I'm not saying that she has a poorly written character or anything. These kinds of people exist. And honestly, for this kind of person, she was written well. She was written well. It's just, I just hate those kinds of people, you know? So it's not that I'm saying that it wasn't well written. It's not that I'm saying that it wasn't handled well and done well. I'm just saying I don't like it. And it's nothing against the show. Um, but let's get on to the actual performances and shit. So we had two different competitions here. Well, two matches in the competition for this round. The first one was GGK, I think it is, taking on the Mermaid Sisters. So GGK kind of has this like this very pompous attitude. And I don't think she realizes she's being pompous, but she so is. And I've seen these kinds of people who think they're one with the universe and think they're like, because of it, they're billions of years old and they're so much higher level than you simple humans. It's that kind of attitude, and it's always just like, why? Why are you like this? I've it's always bothered me. It doesn't anger me, but it's just like, why? And again, these kinds of people exist, so I'm not complaining about having that kind of person in here. They definitely wanted their artists in the competition to be diverse, and they succeeded at that. Now, her actual performance, the song was good. I mean, she has a good voice, and the sound itself was fine. It's not my thing. Like it's if I were actually watching like real American Idol or America's Got Talent or whatnot, and that kind of performance was in there, and it was a week where I could vote and everything, I would not vote for that performance. I would not vote for that performance to go through. But I'm not saying it was bad. It just I would not say it's good enough. And she took on the Mermaid Sisters, whose song was just a lot of fucking bullshit. I mean, that's it, it was literally just a lot of fucking bullshit. That's basically all they were saying. Fucking bullshit. Holy shit and all. It's like, what? Why? Just why? I mean, it was funny as hell. It was really funny and interesting and everything. And the way they threw a fit and started attacking the judges and everything afterwards was nuts. But it's like, what? I assume that they sang an actual legitimate quality song in their audition. And apparently they claim that those lyrics are them, like that's what they're about and everything. It's like, huh? I I'm so lost at that. But it's like, okay. I mean, the voices, I guess, were technically good. Um, but yeah, I like how they showed this nonetheless, like this kind of act. Because again, I watch America's Got Talent, especially, and you'll see these kinds of acts where the judges will stop the performance. Simon does it especially, where like he'll stop the performance, say like, "Oh, do you have another song?" Or no, this is just dumb, or this is just bad, or whatever. Um, that has happened multiple times, and it's like I, I kind of I kind of like that they put that kind of performance into this show, both in terms of the show Mars Brightest on Carole and Tuesday and Carole and Tuesday itself in general. Um, it's just a fun idea. Um, but in the end, they gave the win to GGK basically just on a whim, because basically just because of how terrible they viewed the performance by the Mermaid Sisters. So next we had Sibel versus Angela, and Sibel was actually pretty damn good, singing in French and really having this great feel to it. Um, I would say that Sibel's performance in the song was better than GGK's for sure, and it was basically what GGK's performance I feel was trying to do. It was great. Even if I don't like Sibel, even if I despise her at this point, I won't argue that her performance was great. And then we had Angela, who was naturally legendary. Let's be honest. Angela's performance was fucking amazing. But we expected it to be. Like, that was no surprise by any means. Because, as I said before, it's kind of expected that the final matchup's going to be Carole and Tuesday taking on Angela. I would be really surprised if it goes any other way. The only way I could see it going any other way is if Angela like gets upset at Mr. Tao not being there and kind of flubs up on her next performance against GGK. But I don't know. I still see her winning. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it wasn't surprising that she would be that good. So it didn't really leave any kind of like subversion of expectation, I guess. Like there was nothing that was really shocking about that performance. It didn't catch me off guard even by how good it was, because again, I expected that. But that's not to say it was like lacking or anything. No, it was still phenomenal. And it was still just fantastic voice, fantastic animation on her movements and all. Yeah, it was just overall great. So really no complaints. I'm just saying that it was kind of what I thought it was going to be. um, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see the next round because next time we are getting Carole and Tuesday taking on Piotr, which is not going to be an easy battle for Carole and Tuesday because Piotr showed he's pretty damn good. And then we're going to have, of course, GGK taking on Angela. And that one will be an easy battle. Angela is going to just wipe the floor with GGK. Again, unless Angela flubs. If she manages to fuck up because of all the stuff going on with Mr. Tao, that would be the only way she would lose. But I feel like that wouldn't even happen until she came against Carole and Tuesday. Anyway, so yeah. But yeah, the other one, Carole and Tuesday versus Piotr, I still feel like Carole and Tuesday are going to win here. I would be surprised if Piotr won. But again, it's going to be something where Carole and Tuesday will have to put in a lot of big effort for. So now there's a couple other small things that were shown in this episode that are definitely going to be big as the series progresses, that are definitely building things up. One, Mr. Tao, going back to him. He came to the performance just to find Carole and Tuesday and ask them about who does their music. And when they revealed that it was just them, no AI or anything, the surprise he showed and then leaving right away kind of shows us that he does acknowledge their ability. He acknowledges their music, their skill, their writing ability, all of it. And he's confused by it because, as we've clearly seen, Mr. Tao is a modernist in every sense of the word. He does not believe in like classic style music to where it's written and stuff by the singers and all, and it's not AI produced and all of that jazz. Erdogan kind of views it the same way. So yeah, it's really, really interesting that he's kind of seen a different side to that idea now. And I'm really excited to see where that goes. But the other thing, of course, that I really want to touch on is they once again did touch on Valerie Simmons, Tuesday's mother, who is running for office. It was at the very beginning. Carole and Tuesday were in the city. There was this big screen showing Valerie, her campaign stuff going on. And Tuesday's looking up at it, kind of seeming solemn. And Carole, at that point, finds out that Valerie is specifically her mother. Because Tuesday had told her before that her mother is a politician, but that's it. So now Carole knows the specifics behind it. And that's definitely going to have an impact somewhere. I'm still kind of thinking of the possibility of Valerie coming in and trying to force Carole, or not Carole, Tuesday to leave the competition. I think that that is still a possibility, but if they do it that way, I don't think it's going to happen until the finale. Again, Carole and Tuesday versus Angela. I think that would be the perfect time to have it, and for Tuesday to basically say, no, I'm doing this. And especially with this episode showing us Carole helping her with self-confidence and confrontational issues, helping her learn how to confront people who aren't being fair to her. So yeah, that could very much be setting up for that. I could completely see that. Like imagine it. Like I said, she tries to get Tuesday to quit. Tuesday tells her off basically and tells her, no, I'm competing. And basically you're going to have to deal with it. And Valerie ends up seeing Tuesday compete and maybe she starts to get it. Or at least like lets her just do her own thing at this point. I mean, it might seem like that would end that kind of plot thread a little early. But if they do it right, as I've said with pretty much everything in this show, if they do it right, that's what matters. Even if it does seem a little early, because that does seem like a big, important plot thread. But at the same time, if that is done early, that means everything following it is going to start getting progressively more and more important. And other stuff is going to kind of take that place. So it's still possible to make it work right. They just have to, write it out in a way that makes sense and is fitting for all the characters involved in the story. So yeah. Either way, like I said in the reaction, I didn't need to look up the title song because it's one I know very well. Dancing Queen by ABBA. My favorite ABBA song is Mamma Mia, but Dancing Queen is a close second. It's a song I've known for many, many, many years and have just really loved. Um, now, the lyrics of Dancing Queen are basically about enjoying life. You're young. Enjoy life while you're young, basically. Like, let's look at these lyrics. Okay, so there we go. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. See that girl, watch that scene, dig in the Dancing Queen. So obviously that it goes with what I just said about enjoying your life, just having fun. And it kind of fits with this episode because of specifically Sibel. Sibel's portion prior to her little, I guess you could call it, pre-performance talk with the judges. She talked about how she believes that once you grow old, then you're no longer beautiful. That beauty lies in youthfulness, which, as I said, I fully disagree with. I believe beauty can be in anyone. I have seen some amazing elderly couples who have had just amazing shows of beauty and love and just wonderful. Just you get the idea. I have trouble articulating sometimes. But Sibel talked about how she wants to leave a mark when she's young. She wants to do what she can before she fades into obscurity in her eyes. And so we continue on, and the lyrics of the song go, Friday nights and the lights are low, looking out for a place to go, where they play the right music, getting in the swing, you come to look for a king. Anybody could be that guy, night is young and the music's high, with a bit of rock music, everything is fine, you're in the mood for a dance, and when you get the chance, and then it goes into the chorus. So this obviously is, again, all about living your life. And this also kind of ties into Tuesday, because Tuesday is very, not uptight, but she tends to have trouble just loosening up a little bit, because she's always on edge, whether it's in regards to her mother, her nerves in regards to her performances, all of that jazz. She tends to like kind of hold back a little bit, you could say, because of it. So Carole is step by step helping her be able to come out of that shell, to be able to enjoy life a little more and to see things for just more than, you know, the stuff that scares her. And I mean, obviously, there's the chorus itself. You are the dancing queen, young and sweet, only 17. Dancing queen, feel the beat from the tambourine. And then again goes to what I sang before. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life and all that. And again, it's kind of going with Sibel's ideology in this episode. We're young. Let's enjoy it. Let's have the time of our lives. And in the case of our main characters here, Carole and Tuesday, they are 17. So it definitely fits there. But I definitely feel it's speaking more towards Tuesday specifically. And it's definitely referring to how Carole, again, is trying to help her live. And how just by being together and being a group, that Tuesday is being able to open up and find more confidence. So it's a really fitting song. A lot more fitting than last week's was. Not that last week's wasn't fitting, just it wasn't as much as some of the other songs we've had for this season. But they're continuing to show the people who are creating the show and everything in Studio Bones. They're continuing to show that they're not just picking random songs, that they're really thinking things through, that they really are trying to figure out the best fits. And I think it works. I think that it's a great idea to have that kind of thing in this series, to have each episode named after a hit song, or in some cases, less than super popular. And have the lyrics of said song be something that is fitting to what is happening in the episode. Even if not to like a magnificent, heavy degree, but to some degree, just having it fit the events of the episode. So overall, yeah, I think that is just continually being a fantastic element of this already fantastic series. And yeah, this was another great episode, and I can't wait to see where the final round goes, because next time, like I said, we are going to see Carole and Tuesday take on Piotr, and then GGK take on Angela. And I presume the finals are not going to be on the same episode. That's probably going to build up to the next one. So, like, next time, I presume we're going to have those two semifinal matches, and then we'll probably have a bunch of character stuff, which I am all for, by the way. So I am all good on that. But in the meantime, tell me what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. And thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,